What's up guys, I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install a Tusk Stage 2 Upgrade Kit on your KRX 1000. Now the Stage 2 kit, that's your mid-grade kit, and the upgrades over the Stage 1, again, they're going to be the pivot folding mirrors, so those are going to pop out of the way if you accidentally hit something, and you can fold them right back out. You're also going to be getting that scratch-resistant polycarb rear window to help enclose the cab. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get this installed. Now for the mirrors, the mounting kit is going to cover both sides. We have both mirrors, and to get those mirrors installed, we're going to use a 19, 17, and 13 millimeter sockets. We're going to start the install with the mirror mounting brackets. So the first thing we need to do is take our 17 millimeter socket and remove both of the A-pillar bolts. And we're going to remove one bolt at a time, and you don't reuse the stock bolt. We've got a new longer bolt. We're going to put a washer on there. Next we have the bracket. So the left and the right bracket, or the driver's side and passenger side brackets, are different. And this twist in the bracket on the driver's side, it's going to twist in towards the cab. Same thing on the other side. The correct bracket will twist in towards the cab. So I'm going to install the bolt and that washer through this and the spacer. And we're going to start this bolt before we remove that top bolt. And doing one at a time just helps with alignment. And we'll do the same thing for the top bolt. And these new bolts, they take the 19 millimeter socket, but we're actually going to wait to tighten them down all the way until we have the mirror on, and that way we can make some final adjustments to the bracket. Now for the mirrors, to get these installed, there's going to be a left and a right, and to determine that, you're just going to make sure the Tusk logo is positioned so you can read it. And then all we're going to do is remove the bolt from the back. We're not going to use this bolt, but we are going to use that star washer right behind it. And then for the spacer, the tapered side is going to be right next to the mirror. So we're just going to use this longer bolt that came with the mounts, put it through that spacer, and then the star washer is going to go right on the end of this mirror against that spacer. Next, we need to tighten down these bolts for the A-pillar. So I'm going to put the bracket right in the middle of its range. And then with the bracket tightened down, I'm just going to make any final adjustments to this mirror. You can sit in the seat to help you do that. Then we'll do these same steps on the other side. For the half windshield, we have the windshield itself, the bottom seal, and the roll cage clamps. Now we need to prep the half windshield, so I'm going to pull this protective film from it. And if you want to help prevent from scratching this, what you can do is lay a blanket down, lay this on top of it. I'm just going to have that raised side facing up. All right, for the bottom edge seal, we're just going to center this on the window, and we're just going to push this on. Now if you find any spots that are a little loose or anything, you can always squeeze that trim together for a tighter fit. And with that first pass, I was just getting that spread on there. So you want to make sure this is pressed all the way down, and you can see that line where it's actually going a lot deeper in there. You want to make sure that happens with yours. Now we're going to set the windshield in place. The main things to keep in mind is the bend is going to be pointing out and away from the machine, and then that seal goes in front of that little ledge right there. So to put these on, I'm just going to feed the Velcro through that slot, through the metal bar, back around, and I'm not really going to worry about getting it tight right now. Just going to set that in place. And then to tighten it up, I'm gonna move the whole windshield up just a little bit, tighten the strap, and then I'm gonna slide this down into place. Then we'll do these same steps on the other side. Next, we're gonna be installing the rear window and the roof. Now, to make things easier, you're gonna wanna stay organized with the parts that go to each kit. Right here, we have the rear window, the mounts, the mounting hardware, P-clamps, and then for tools, we're gonna use the 4 and 5 millimeter Allen T handles and a 10 millimeter socket. We also recommend using either one of these Tusk plastic rivet removal tools, but if you don't have these, you can use a flat blade screwdriver. But if you use the screwdriver, just be really careful that you don't damage anything when you're using it. For the roof, we've laid out all the hardware that came in our kit. We've got these foam strips. For tools, you're going to need a 10 millimeter socket. We also have a 4 millimeter Allen T handle and an X-Acto knife. Moving on to the rear window, we're going to remove the protective film. Now we're going to install this 5-foot section of trim to the bottom of the window. And again, if you find any loose spots, you can always squeeze this stuff together for a tighter fit. All right, so we have a little bit of extra material on our trim piece, so we're just going to use some dikes to cut that off. To get the rear window installed, we're going to remove the center cover and the 2 intake boxes on the side. After that, we'll loosen up the hose clamps and remove the 6 push pins from the bottoms of each side. Before you install the billet clamps, make sure you remove this bolt from each of them. Next, we're going to install these billet clamps on the B pillar. We're just going to leave these loose for now. Next, we're going to install the P-clamps. So we've got 2 different sizes. The bigger size, there's going to be 2 of them, and they're going to go just above the seat belt. And then that flat side is going to be on that upper side towards the back. Once you have those 2 bigger ones installed, you've got the 5 smaller clamps. So keep in mind, this flat side is always going to be facing that rear window. And when we install this one, it's going to be facing, the hole is going to be facing towards the outside of the machine on both of these. Now to get the roof installed, what we're going to do is clean the top of the roll cage and then install the foam strips. So to do that, we're using a little bit of soapy water on a rag. Now for the foam tape, we've got the 37-incher for the front. This stuff's just going to help with vibration. We've got the 44-incher for the back. And then we have the 2 32-inchers for the sides. Now that we have the foam tape installed, we're going to set the rear window in place. Might be helpful to have a friend help you do that. Next, we're going to set the clamps in place. across the top. And I'm just going to use a razor blade to cut that foam out. Now we're going to go around and install all the hardware. So we've got the washer on the outside, then the nut's going to go on the inside, and we're just going to leave all the hardware loose for now. And once we have it all installed, we'll make any final adjustments and tighten it down. After that, we can install the pre-filters and the cover. Once we have those installed, we'll move back up to the roof. Next thing we need to do is install the spacers. And to keep these in place, I'm going to apply just a little bit of grease underneath them. So the front one is going to go on that slot. Then we'll do one in the back corner. And then we'll put them in the same spots on the other side. Now we're going to line the slots in the roof up with our spacers. We're going to put a washer on first, put the bolt through, and then install one of these nylock nuts on the bottom side. Now there is a difference from the front to the back. So the back one, you not only have a washer on top, but you're going to have a washer on the bottom as well. Now that we have all the bolts loosely installed, there is some adjustability with the roof. So you want to move it until it's centered and you have the optimal fit. Once you have everything centered up, you can go ahead and tighten down all the bolts. And that's everything you need to know to get the Stage 2 Upgrade Kit installed on your KRX 1000. If you need this Tusk Upgrade Kit, it's available on our website, so be sure to check that out and subscribe to our channel for more helpful content. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain. Thanks for watching.